What's up, everybody? This is VisitJoan, and welcome to another build. This time around, we are building a penthouse, and I've actually only really done one of these before, and that was like, I don't know, about like a year or a little bit over a year ago, and it didn't really turn out that well because I kind of had no idea what I was doing. But anyway, I don't have any pictures of that to show you because, well, the computer fried, so you guys know the story by now if you've been here before. But anyway, this time around, I actually got a picture from, well, it wasn't Pinterest, I think I looked it up on Google, but it basically showed two sides, so for the other two sides, I pretty much had to improvise, but I kind of got the gist of it while I was building, and I was able to improvise that pretty well. So anyway, this apartment is a mad scientist's apartment. And when I say mad scientist, I'm not talking about the mad scientists that we, are really familiar with that have the weird, funky hairstyles and invent time-traveling DeLoreans in their spare time. No, I'm not talking about that. It's like a stereotypical mad scientist. That's what everybody thinks when they see mad scientists. But that's really just not what I'm talking about here. Because, here's the thing. I got that actually from The Sims because, when you're in the science career, when you reach the top of the career, you become a mad scientist. That's like literally the title of the job. And that's actually not the case in The Sims 4. That's the science career track level 9 and not level 10, which honestly, I kind of maybe understood why they did it a little bit. Maybe I don't know. But, honestly, I just don't think that was a very good decision. I think they should have just stuck with tradition because, even when they revamped the science career for The Sims 3, they still had mad scientists at the top. And now it just does not feel as special. It does not feel like, it's that prestigious as it actually is. I kind of understand being able to travel to Saxum as, like, a perk in the science career, but it's just like, really? You really couldn't have just put that at, like, level 9? But I guess if they did, people would be complaining the other way around, so I don't know. I would have preferred it to be, so I could have it be a little bit, accurate in my game, but, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's not really all that worth complaining about. It's kind of like the same level as, like, complaining about the ball pit, except the ball pit would be kind of a level below that, but you know what? It's fine. There's nothing I can do about it, so it's just best to just move on. But anyway, mad scientist is pretty much, a title or a rank that scientists give themselves pretty much as an achievement. A mad scientist is, well, there are certain things you have to accomplish. I don't know exactly what they all are, but a mad scientist basically is pretty much someone who has, I'm blanking on the word here. Dang it, I had it in my head like 2 minutes ago. What the heck is going on? Someone who has made great contributions to the scientific community inside the scientific community. And when you get that title or reach that rank, you pretty much have jurisdiction to do whatever the heck you want. You can study what you want to study, you can experiment the experiments that you want to do, and you don't really need approval all that much unless, we're talking about serious situations in which people can be harmed. But other than that, you don't really need approval. But to get to that level, you pretty much have to be, like, obsessed with science, and so it's pretty much a little bit of scientists making fun of themselves with the stereotypes, so it's, like, kind of like, ha, ha, ha. But, the mad scientist community is somewhat of a tight-knit group. Everybody pretty much knows each other. They don't, know each other extremely, extremely well, but they all know who each other are, and that is because, when somebody new becomes a mad scientist, there's this little ceremony, and all the mad scientists, and usually their spouses as well, will gather to this, really fancy dinner and ceremony commemorating a new mad scientist. So who is a mad scientist? Well, I think you guys all know the answer to this one, and that is the prime example of a mad scientist is Mortimer Goth. He has achieved that rank, and he actually did it pretty fast. He wasn't the youngest person to ever do it, but he was, pretty darn close. He was only off by, a couple of years. We're not really talking about him right now, but, this build, actually, is not just for any mad scientist. This is the home of the first woman to achieve the title, which is pretty amazing. Not only within the scientific community, but also with women in general. So this woman, her name is Susan Morellis or something like that. I don't exactly remember how to pronounce the name. I just randomized it and I'm like, yeah, I like that name. I'm just going to go with it. But anyway, she's married and she has 2 daughters. One is fully grown and one is a teenager. And they also have a cat, and it's really funny because when I was furnishing this, I could not remember if I had given them a cat or not. So I put a litter box in the bathroom, which of course you don't see because I only did the master bathroom on camera, but after that, I couldn't exactly remember if they had a cat or not, so I basically left the cat stuff off, and then I added them in once I had the, whatchamacallit, the family moved into the house. So you will see the cat stuff basically in the screenshots. Anyway, you guys, this is, basically the reference photo I used, all the blue areas were like pink, but it didn't really fit with, the exterior of the building all that much. And, well, I would have liked to have found a better fit for it, but this was the smallest lot, and I kind of wanted to save the bigger penthouses for something else that would actually be bigger. And so I decided to go with this one, and it had some bricks in it, and I just changed the pink to blue because, honestly, that just looked better. But anyway, we are now on to the furnishing aspect of the house. I am really proud of how this turned out because I did a lot of stuff just like on the fly that was kind of experimental, but was just really innovative ideas because like I decided just randomly like on the spot to make that city living what do you call that, like little window thing that you're looking at like right now, to be like, you know, a backsplash for the tiles in the kitchen for like one wall. And I actually got the idea for the windows in the kitchen off of, well, not those windows that I was just talking about. I'm talking about the Myshuno windows that you will see me put in there in a minute that are actually like between the walls that are on the inside. I actually got that idea from somebody else's apartment build. So I don't remember exactly who it was at the moment, but I probably did shout it out on Facebook or get a I know I left a comment on YouTube, but I don't really exactly remember who it was. So I'll try to find that out, and if I actually remember, I am going to put that in the description below. So anyway, I didn't actually do this build all in one shot, actually, because, well, in the middle of it, I actually went on vacation to the Wisconsin Dells, to a resort that I have been frequenting since I was a child, and it had been 4 years since I had last gone, and my cousin had a day off, and my aunt she was a teacher, but she's now retired. So we decided, you know, basically, we're just going to go for a couple of days. And you can see my genius idea about the accent wall here. I really wanted to do that Myshuno, Myshuno wallpaper is like an accent, so you can see that there. But anyway, you know, my aunt and cousin, they wanted to get home at a certain time so they could go to a certain event. And so they didn't really even want to, you know, actually get in the water the last day we were there. And at first I was thinking, wow, you guys are just party poopers. And then at the end, I didn't even want to get in the water at the last day, just because we had only brought one swimsuit and it was wet, and I really didn't want to put on a wet swimsuit. And it was just like, oh my goodness. I mean, I don't get why the Sims get a sad moodlet when they put on damp clothing. Putting on damp clothing is not sad, it is uncomfortable. And it's especially worse when people are arguing about do not disturb signs, and I'm standing there in a wet swimsuit, and I'm really cold, and I'm like, okay, that's it, I'm out of here. And now I have to go find an indoor water park where it's like 80 degrees inside, and I'm like, yes, okay, now I'm comfortable. But anyway, you know, when we were, when I was looking actually on the site for, for, you know, stuff, because they constantly, like, add stuff, and they constantly improve stuff, and they're constantly changing stuff, you know, I was looking to see what they had, and I found that they had a shipwreck-themed escape room, and if you guys saw my cruise ship video, you will know exactly why I was like, okay, we have to do this. So, you know, we went to the escape room, and we were paired with another family that was, you know, 2 parents and 2 boys, and my cousin came up with a good team name. His name was Gilligan and the Rest, and the youngest boy was like, I don't get it. And I'm like, I'm standing there thinking, oh my goodness, I feel old now. And we didn't actually manage to save the ship and escape, but we came pretty darn close. And because, you know, there was actually, you know, time travel involved, well, kind of, we didn't really erase ourselves out of existence, so I consider this an absolute win. Sorry, I had to. I also got to try the slide boarding, which they had added basically after I was there the last time. And, well, I didn't really get to keep track of my score or anything, and I only did it once, just simply because, I didn't really, you know, understand, like, how to register. I thought you could do it online, but there wasn't a place to do it online, and so I was just really kind of confused. And, you know, my mom and my aunt couldn't find a thing, first of all, and I'm like, you guys, it's right in front of your face. You're like, you can't miss it. Eventually you just had to like turn them around and say, okay guys, it's right here. But then it was just really confusing because I knew it was slide boarding, but I guess they didn't. And then there was like a sign that said like no single tubes. And of course the slide board was pretty much almost identical to a single tube. So I go to get the slide board. My mom's like, no, they say no single tubes. I'm like, Mom, that's not a single tube. And they were just like, just confusing me, just kind of like arguing about this. And I'm like, Mom, that kid right there just got off that thing on that slide. They have to be able to use it. Although it has happened where I've seen people do something and then I tried to do something and I get in trouble for it. It's happened to me numerous times. Most of them at school, I don't even remember. It's happened so many times. I can't even like pinpoint a specific example of this. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but one time, you know, my family and I, my dad's company, we did like a kind of like a picnic bonfire thing at this one place called Apple Holler in Wisconsin. And, you know, there was this really cool play area where you got to like crawl through like tunnels of hay. And I enjoyed it so much that my mom and I went back another time and I went to go into the play area like I did the first time I was there. And the woman just standing there was like, it's 2 tickets per person. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And that really just ticked me off. So, you know, it would be just my luck if the lifeguards started yelling at me for doing something that everybody else was doing. Because it's happened to me so many times. There was this one time, and like, I think I remember now, like in elementary school, maybe it's not exactly the same thing, but like, you know, the rule was you had to have boots to go in the snow. So I had boots on, so I went in the snow, and this one girl comes after me just like, no, you have to have snow pants to go in the snow. And I'm just standing there like, girl, you don't even have boots on. And she's like, well, I'm a helper. And I'm like, just in there thinking, that doesn't excuse you, you know? Like, honestly, like, seriously, if you want to enforce rules, you should at least follow them. Like, oh my goodness. Just more proof that I'm always getting the short end of the stick. That is nothing new. But fortunately, nothing happened. Nobody yelled at me. Nobody, you know, it just all went out. So it was just like, just no big deal. But, and, you know, I kind of discovered that, you know, the one thing I actually miss about being a kid, besides sleepovers with my cousins, and, you know, well, that and all the actually play equipment that they actually got rid of, was that, you know, 3 days when I was a kid at this place actually felt like such a long time, but these 3 days actually went pretty fast. I mean, it's really just kind of sad. I kind of miss being there for what felt like longer. But anyway, I got to see the new little dry play structure, and, you know, I used to love it in there. And it was like, you know, I mean, even though I was like 12 or like, you know, 6th grade, we still played in there. There was this really cool like black slide that went, it didn't go straight down, it was just like at an angle. But it was the best slide in the whole place. And I named it Fire Escape because that's really just what it was. It went like really fast. And of course they pretty much got rid of all of that. And I still have a video footage of doing a tour of that original structure. So I should probably upload it to another channel at some point. And then, you know, they actually would have it. That would be really kind of cool. But, you know, they've changed the rules now so that you can't really go if you're over 12 unless you have, you know, a kid with you. And that is really kind of sad because I really like exploring those places. And, you know, I really understand why they did it, but it still feels like it's discriminatory, and oh my goodness. But I have to say, even though this new one looks cool and would be really fun to explore, the original one was better. Just because the slides in the new one are all the same. They're all just like this little, you know, you can see it on my Instagram, at VisitJoan, but they're just like this, basically these little platform slides that just like slide down, and they're all the same. And the ones in the old one were just so much better. There was one that looked like a waterfall. There was this one area in the old one where it was this like tunnel that you would crawl through, except it would spin. And I remember we were showing my aunt, taking her on a tour of this place, and she got in that tunnel, and my cousins, Dan and Tom, just started spinning the thing, and it was like really funny. But of course, they kind of got rid of all of that. It's just not as really diverse. It's still kind of cool, but just not as cool as it once was, which is, you know, I mean, really sad. But anyway, you know, I did record a little bit of this the day we took off, like just like a little bit, like a half hour, 45 minutes or so before we left. So I did get some work done on that day. So that day was not completely a total loss. But you know, like, but you know, with the Trouble in Paradise release and me trying to get this channel going, I have been working my butt off all summer long, and so it was nice to actually get a break, take a vacation, and just do something summery before summer ended. Anyway, you guys are probably all sick and tired of hearing me talk about reality, so back to this. Here we are putting up a bunch of her scientific achievements. You can see the little mad scientist thing over there with the atom over there, and actually there is another prestigious award for people or scientists who have had a big impact outside of the scientific community. And actually, fun fact, only 2 people have ever become mad scientists and gotten that award. Soon to be 3. I think we all know who the 3rd one is going to be, but just in case you haven't figured it out, I'm not going to say anything, because where's the fun in that? Anyway, now we are doing the deck outside the master suite, and you can actually see the 2nd floor bathroom. I did not put that on camera. I also don't think I got a picture on it, but I really like how it turned out. So you can just like pause the video there and check it out. And also, if you notice, you probably realize that you did not see me place that little bench there, and that is because I did not keep it in the build. See, now I've just placed the hot tub there, and I'm moving it around. And if I don't keep something, I don't keep the video of me actually putting it in the build, and sometimes I do that, and then I start building other stuff, and then later I decide that I don't really want it, so that's pretty much why I kind of kept it out. But here we are in the oldest daughter's room, and I actually created everyone except the youngest daughter with the Create a Sim Stories feature, and I actually got the scientist for the career, the scientist career for the mad scientist at the, oh my goodness, I am like mixing over my words right now. I actually got the scientist career for our mad scientist on the first try, so that was pretty exciting. But when I did the oldest daughter, she kind of turned out to be kind of like a plus-size sim, so I decided to go with it because, you know, we always need more diversity in this world. And the interesting thing is that the creative story assigned her to be a diver, but when I actually put the family in the lot, none of them had their jobs. It was just really weird. You have to put them in the lot like immediately for them to get their jobs or something? I have no idea, but here is the youngest daughter's bedroom. As you can see, there's that dresser. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I hate it when people talk about this, but I just really like that dresser, and I just like never really use it. So I'm glad I got an opportunity to use it in this build. And, you know, I have become a whole lot better at, like, cluttering things lately with, I got that little red shelf. I think I mentioned that in another video that hasn't been uploaded yet. I have absolutely no idea. But, I've got so much stuff going on, and my schedule's just all messed up because of Realm of Magic and me not knowing whether I was actually getting the pack or not. But now I think I can finally just schedule things now and just have it, you know, a plan in place. And I'm kind of happy I discovered those, like, light things from Dine Out. And, because they look pretty cool. I haven't really used them before this build. And this is why I never just solely talk about the build, because it's just me rambling about whatever comes to my mind as I'm watching this. But anyway, we are at the screenshots now. I know, it's a long video, but I'm really happy if you stayed throughout the whole thing. I'm happy if you stayed for most of it. I'm just happy that you took the time to watch however much of it you watched. If you're just coming in for the screenshots, that's cool too. I know I do that sometimes when I'm running low on time. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, if you liked the build, I would really appreciate you leaving a like and a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want behind the scenes, fun facts, or anything else just related to just, you know, everyday life or anything like that, please follow me on Instagram. I'm at VisitJoan. And if you want to hear my thoughts on Sims-related stuff and want to know when videos are out on a platform other than YouTube, feel free to follow me on Twitter at VisitJoanVideos. But as for me, I'm going to get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of these screenshots, and I will be seeing you next time, which will probably, I don't even know at this point. Anyway, bye everybody.